everyone, and welcome to the map Site Delta. Today, we'll be taking a look at a highlight professional match of StarCraft 2. Joining me here, the upper left corner of this map, the blue Terran pieces. The blue command center, of course, it is ByuN. And their Protoss opponent, the red probes in the bottom right corner, belonging to none other than Classic, who I hear has been on quite the roll recently. Can ByuN put a stop to him? Or will he turn out to be just as ByuN-stoppable? I know, terrible. I'm sorry. I'm slightly sorry. Nothing unusual happening so far, though, and truth be told, this early, I'm not sure I would expect a whole lot that is unusual from either of these. I would call both ByuN and Classic, honestly, I'd call them more mid-game players. Like, yeah, take a couple minutes, get set up, get some shenanigans going, to some perhaps peculiar decisions or variations from the standard. Like, you know, ByuN suddenly just kind of picks everything up and goes for the main base. Like, that's a very ByuN move. Quick third command center I see on the way behind this. On the Protoss side, we've got the Adept coming out. Cybercore, Stargate is going to be the tech choice, which I'll say is woefully standard and expected. Get that Oracle out, get some vision going, maybe some revelation tags, could be. Worker pickoffs even. We'll see. The Adept actually not going to be heading across. Adept wants to stay at home, maybe have a nice dinner, order pizza, or whatever Adepts eat. You're not going to grenade yourself over the Cybercore here, ByuN? Okay, fine, be that way. Ooh, that was close. Adept actually could have completed that shade. It's not going to be an Oracle. Classic. Changing things up slightly, perhaps. Going instead for Phoenix. Okay. Not unheard of, not supremely far-fetched. Phoenix Colossus is an opener. The Phoenix, I'll say, can still fill the role of that Oracle, where you send it across, you maybe pick off a few workers, you get vision, what your opponent's doing. It could still work, absolutely. The follow-up's going to be a Robo, and another gateway, of course, our second gate of the day. Yep, 3 Adepts holding the high ground. I'm impressed at Classic's, let's go with restraint. Not sending the Adepts across. Just now, the first one, shading across. Barely, seeing most of this. The Reaper could take the opportunity, try to get into the base. But at what point do the Phoenix go across? Classic's been keeping them, been hiding them. 3, 4, Adept, shade. Just a little bit of vision, keeping an eye on everything. Marines will try to hold the high ground. This is Phoenix number 4. This is Phoenix number 4. Do you send them across? At what point do you pull the trigger, Classic? I must know. The Colossi going to be the follow-up, of course. The Robo. Oh, ByuN finally gets into the main base. We'll see the Stargate producing Phoenix, which I think is what is going to force Classic to pull the trigger. Classic moved those Phoenix as soon as the Reaper started to get up to the main base. So, that's totally fine. I've been building them up. I've been waiting, gathering energy. ByuN finally sees it, scouts it, and says, alright, well, I guess it's go time then. Let's send them across. Let's get a little bit of damage done here. Marines already trying to be in position. A couple SCVs will get picked off. One of the Phoenix starts taking a lot of hull damage. The Sim City starting to work against the Terran, but ByuN got 2 groups set up, one in the natural, one in the main. Will be able to hold everything, and the turret, going to be that real anchor for the defense, will help out. Phoenixi, Phoenices, Phoenixes will not find very much damage. Scouting Adept just outside the main base will spot this army moving. It feels like it's just posturing, though. I think ByuN wants to take the third. Yeah. That felt like I'm just trying to take my third base move, so I'm putting a few army units outside. Back at home, classic. Getting the Thermal Lance. A few more gates, adding the Twilight finally. I'm hoping the Twilight is not for Blink, personally, just because the severe lack of Stalkers, you know, you have to kind of hand it to Classic, actually. I'm pretty sure, yeah, 0. Actually, for one, 0 losses so far, the entire game. Well done, hats off, but also only 4 Adepts, 1 Zealot so far. No Stalkers even made from the Gateway. Going for that Stalker-free composition, the Gateway Light style, and more heavy on the Stargate, the Robo. Could even take it farther. Into the late game, you get something like Carriers add-on. You get a little bit of a Sky Toss move going. Add on Storm. Oh, I think we just had a Phoenix go down. Oh, multiple. Getting a little bit greedy, trying to see what ByuN is going for. And ByuN says, I think I'm just going to go for your base instead. Oh, good grief. Classic losing Phoenix now. Just picking them off out of the sky. We'll try to pick off some of these reinforcements. They take so long to kill a Marauder. Ugh. But kill the Marauder they did. ByuN's forces feeling a little scattered in the middle of the map, actually, trying to just gather up the reinforcement groups as they come out. Does spot the Observer and is gonna pick everything up. What'd I tell you? ByuN. Okay. What a unexpected move. No, terrible. He's gonna pick up the medevacs, get everything going. Goes for the natural. It seems the Phoenix quickly trying to intercept. I think Classic did spot that, just the kind of tail end of that. Will drop a few forces, but not actually going to drop the bulk of them, which feels like kind of a very odd decision by ByuN here. Because now these forces can probably get pinned. Up against the rocks. He's going to try to pick up. He's going to try to get out. Oh god. The medevac will actually escape 2 health on that medevac. Good lord. ByuN cutting it close with this attack group. Okay then. Classic still building up. Colossi is going to be going for Blink, which... okay. You know, I say, you know, I didn't really want to see Blink because, you know, severe lack of Stalkers. You start to see more, possibly, but at the same time, Blink is also one of those things that if you're going to get the Twilight, you have the 150 minerals and gas to spare, go for it, because Stalkers without Blink, so much worse. Be like getting Marines without Stim. Just feels wrong. Feels weird. Charge Zealots, well, be slowed down. Some of them even stopped here. The Adept Shade in will get a few workers, actually. So, rather ruthless success. 5 SCVs going down. Shade will be attempted. Not all of them are getting out, though. Not all of them are going home. Outside of a body bag. This time, oh, ByuN, he's mad. He's even going to chase him down here. Concussive. Oh, he targets all of the Adepts will be picked off. Warp Prism here just beyond the sight of that group. We'll warp in a few Zealots. And behind this, Classic moving up in that tech tree, going for a fleet beacon. What will the choice be? Tempest? Carriers? Mothership? Hidden base? Not requirement, you know, from the fleet beacon, of course. But still, good timing, coincidental. Triple carrier play, okay. Adding on High Templar, I did see Storm come up in the research as well, so Classic, it seems to be going for what I was mentioning, kind of a late game, like a Sky Toss-esque composition here. We'll still have the Colossi, we'll still have, you know, some ground forces. Did make 4 Stalkers. Could have been an accident, but still, they are here. They're stalking around. Has some Archons. The Templar count is at a whopping 4, which I think is really plenty. Just because you're not going to be going for mass storm. You're going to be doing the storms to get a bit of damage, maybe try to get the Terran out of position, or just buy time for the carriers. ByuN will catch this group on the right side, force that Prism to pick up. Scan. Goes out on his own army here. Oh, he heard the observer. EMP, helpful from those ghosts. Pick that off. No, classic, avoiding the planetary fortress artfully. ByuN. Very well-timed engineering bay, I'll say. Start to pick off. Oh, the snipes firing squad goes out. ByuN cancels the E-base, starts to go for a supply depot version of the wall. We do have that mama ship almost here. Classic could be setting up the recall potential. This is a very offensive potential rally for a mothership here, going around the left side. Set up one group, you know, the carriers, they're moving around, they do a bit of damage over here. Boom, recall, way over to the planetary. Okay, I see it, potential material there. Did ByuN spot the mothership? I don't think so. I don't think this scan actually caught the mothership. We'll catch the carriers, of course, and the 5 command centers on the way. Also starting to get the ship weapons and armor. ByuN perhaps planning for the composition he's going to need, which is a lot of Vikings and probably missile turrets too. For now, getting command centers, get that Iron Bank, the mule economy set up. Oh yeah, the missile turrets coming up galore. We're still in single digits, which impresses me, because I would have expected double digits of turrets at this point. Couple zealots find a little bit of success here, pulling the army away. Oh, ByuN with the counter group here. They're both going to hit each other. And the mothership is in a decent spot for a recall potential here. The group will commit on the far left side. Pylon immediately picked off the probes, will be evacuated towards the opponent's side of the map, which is an intriguing choice. Carriers hit by an EMP. Interceptors moving out. Storm. I think we've only got maybe 2 on 1 Templar left. SCV is desperately trying to hold the planetary. Carrier coming in from that rally. Most of the army is falling. I think Classic can actually take this position if he wants, but at the same time the interceptor count is dwindling. And probes are dying off in droves, and is that a recall I hear? Recall over to the left side. There's just not really that many interceptors, but I think he'll still get the planetary. Yeah, the planetary will fall to the surprise attack at the double recall. Shenanigan. Recall over here, recall back home. We'll be able to hold this ground, prevent ByuN from taking any more bases away, but at the cost of 25 probes. They end up just kind of trading a base for a base. Classic lost a lot in the process. A lot of the interceptors, I'll say, went down, have to be replaced. So it's going to, of course, kind of inflate the minerals lost level, and Classic is going to need a bank. Carriers, they are not for the poor. They are not for the peasantry. They take a lot of minerals to support. So interceptors don't come cheap, at least not cheap enough. The Viking count is growing for ByuN, looking perhaps to take a more direct engagement up against the army here. Will not be caught off guard again. Did the mothership go down? Where's the mothership? Oh, the mothership's just with the army, just hanging out, making sure everybody's doing their homework. All the rooms are clean. Fabulous. Making sure the carriers aren't up to no good. The carrier count at the 9 and 8. I'm sorry, yeah, 8 Templar, because we're going to have an Archon. Siege tanks will be set up, start to pick off one of the pylons. Vikings taking a bit of damage to that storm. Overcharge is initiated. Oh, and we'll actually get to continue for a brief second. Oh, ByuN's just going to pack it home. Recognizing perhaps committing here will cost the army, and that's not something ByuN really wants to just throw away. The Classic says, hey, where are you going? I'd like you to throw away your army. Let's do battle. This is plenty of Templar and carriers, though. Nope, we're grouping up. The mothership here to support, so no offensive recalls can be done. The Vikings, oh, the cloak is going to be initiated. Scan already active, though. Not going to be a whole lot of help. Mothership taking a bit of damage. Interceptors having to pull back. The turrets set up are really helping out ByuN. Give him a bit of an anchor. The siege tanks also, likewise. Ooh. The Viking volley takes out one of the carriers. Stalkers, finally, adding to their usefulness. Be able to destroy the rocks. Good job, guys. Picking on petty dirt and rocks instead of the Terran forces. Carrier count. It looks like only one potential fell. They're both still working on their air upgrades, though, but they feel like committing. Army supplies, they're maxed out. They're itching for battle at this point. Liberators coming online for ByuN. Could help out either with the ground forces or with the interceptors, actually. We make fun of Liberators' anti-air attack plenty, but they're pretty decent against very specific splash damage situations. You know, mutas. Interceptors, potentially. Other Liberators, totally fine. Solid EMP, hits that Archon. The mothership did use the cloak. I don't think it'll be active for very long, which then makes me question, will Classic actually want to commit? Where are you going? Where are you going? Where do you think you're going here? Command center, floating over to the far right. Classic set back a little bit on the base count, but the bank is doing very well. Oh, here we go. Recall initiated, bringing the army once again. Storm onto the SCVs. The planetary will fall. ByuN slightly out of position here. The Liberators, oh, they help out, try to help out against the interceptors. Vikings also getting a bit distracted. Could go for the carriers themselves. Without the siege tanks, I think the ground forces are going to be a little bit of a problem. Liberators still helping out, dealing with most of the interceptors, and the Vikings can start to pick off the carriers. Reinforcement zealots on the right side could commit. There's the siege tanks are actually here in the middle of the map, so that's going to help give ByuN an anchor. The missile turrets and the tanks combo preventing Classic from really committing down this area. There's also, of course, the idea, you know, you just pick off interceptors. Try to drain the Protoss's bank. Stalker's gonna blink forward right into the path of the siege tanks. They were going for the one, maybe not seeing the other two. Oh, one of the carriers does fall. Good storm onto the Vikings. The second carrier will fall. Most of the air army is dwindling here for the Protoss. Classic trying to replace it, though. Still going for more carriers behind this. Ooh, storm hitting both Protoss and Terran there. The Zealots are going to have a hard time. And it would seem... gosh, it's mostly just Stalkers left over, though. I'm not sure. The Viking count will not do well. I think Viking count completely reset. Yeah, we're down to 0 Vikings. No more longboats, no more raiding parties today, gents. The carriers might actually have a bit more success now. ByuN is replacing it with just Marine Marauder, mostly because that's all ByuN can afford. The income is just not there. Losing this base multiple times has really hurt. This base is still operational, still active. We got about half here, but it's just not proving to be enough. Army supply, we're evening it up right now, and the upgrades in favor of the Terran, albeit slightly. Classic missing that +3 air armor, but with only, you know, 4 carriers. Depends. ByuN adding on Marines and Ghosts. We're going to try to get another mothership out too, perhaps to do more recall shenanigans. We've had 2. This base has really taken a beating as far as the recall antics go. Oh god, the Storm's actually looking really nice, and I don't think ByuN was expecting to see more carriers at this point in the match. The severe lack of Vikings is going to mean that it's kind of up to killing the interceptors, but there's also just so many forces on the ground. These Templars still have energy for Storms too, and I don't think there's any more EMPs that are going to be going out. Classic might be looking to be in a strong position for really the first time this match, holding this middle area, going up into the natural. ByuN, I think, is going to have to commit the siege tanks, not really able to help out a whole lot. Stalker's going to blink up onto the high ground. Reinforcement Zealots, like the legacy of the Void cinematic. Ah, gosh. Classic's on top of the production at this point. ByuN, I think you have to go. Siege tanks will set up on the low ground, immediately picked off by that carrier, which is not going to be helpful at all. Storms picking off the bio. The energy's depleted. They're just going to turn into Archons. And Classic is going to hold the main base of the Terran, taking the game. Air superiority, proving to win the day. Not a bad game at all. Thank you for the recommendation. If you enjoyed, be sure to let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day.